All right, this is Chris. I am just a guy that has built a table and has learned how to throw some dice. And what I'd like to tell you is that throwing dice is only part of the solution. And the other part of that solution is knowing how to bet. And the last part of the solution is really knowing when it's not going. Because knowing when it's not going is the ability to say it is time to go. Knowing when it's not going so you're going, right? So what that means is there's going to be times when a shooter gets up there and they're really, really hot. And they're going to make a lot of rolls. And hopefully the shooter's you. But if it's not you, because of whatever reason, that's being able to know when that roll is over, it's time to go. If you get a shooter that has hit 30 numbers or something 30 plus numbers, that is a rare thing. I hope that you recognize that it's happening so you get in on some bets. But when that happens, it's time to go. Now the reason I'm saying this is because last night my wife and we went to Tunica and got there. I don't know. I went to the craps table. She went to the slots. That's what she does. And yeah, so we did that, and I started playing. I had a $600 bankroll. Started playing, and the guy that was shooting to my right, I was standing stick right. That's where I was shooting. He got on a roll. I mean, a super roll. And I had a lot of red chips. I wasn't betting big, but I was betting and I was winning. And I probably got up a couple hundred, $300 out of a $600 bankroll. Well, then I shot right after him and I shot terribly, but I bet on myself. So I ended up losing the part of the money that I'd won. I'll tell you all this is I should have walked away after I hit with his shooting, because it's tough to follow that up. I might have had 5 rolls. It just wasn't enough to really talk about. But what I wanted to do here is I wanted to see, one, if I could recreate some of my poor shooting, because it was not going very well. And I also want you to know I made a bad decision last night. Things were going pretty fair, and there was a young woman on the end that started shooting. She was like in her 50s. She wasn't young. But she had made a lot of money on that shooter before, and the dice came to her, and I was playing the don't pass, and she shot, and it's 7, right? So I lose my don't, and then I put another don't out there, and it was an 11, and I'm like, crap, she's beating me up. Well, I waited out another roll, and it was a 7, and then I decided that I would bet on a no 7 on the come out the next time, and I put a don't pass, and then I put some place bets across the top. It's about $200 out on the table, and I left it all on. And you guessed it, she rolled a 7. It hurt.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now.
Wow,
Please try a little
Alexa
later.
heard me. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to get an idea of what we could do here. I'm going to do similar to what Jared does on Wager Me This. I'm going to get a $600 bankroll, And yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is my first real setup. So I've got a couple of different setups here. I wanted to see one. I want to be able to see, you know, what's going on with my dice here. So hopefully I'll find a spot where we can see that. And then another, I'm going to mark my hits. So yeah, you'll see what I mean by that. I'm going to take the white chips and I'm going to mark any hits that I have to see if it's you know, see if I would get an all tall small. Terrible night last night though, terrible night. So hopefully I find out what I'm doing wrong here too. Maybe somebody could comment, maybe Jerry could tell me. I have no idea. But anyway, I typically do a dice set of a 1-5-1-5. And the landing zone is, you know, probably about 4 inches, 5 inches from the back. But what I'm noticing on my dice throwing is that I'm not consistent with the squareness, and they're not holding together. So let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead $30 don't out for me, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so here we go. So that is a 4, a 3, 1, 4. So put that there. Go ahead and put a about there. I think what I'm going to do is on that 4, I'm going to go ahead and put some odds on that. Maybe 60, and then I'm going to. Let's see, that's 60, so it's going to pay 30, and I'll probably get the bets a little wrong. Let's see here. So 30 is going to be 60, so I probably don't need to do that much. I'm going to back up. I just want to make sure I got coverage. You know, I got $60, basically a $60 winner on the 7, so I don't want to really give myself too much exposure. This is something that I have learned from Jared on Wager Me This. All right, so I'll give you some change. Probably need another one. Change. Another 5. Now I'll put some odds on that. All right, so we're gonna roll this out. Again, I'm gonna try to mark it. I could probably mark it on the field because I'm not gonna bet anything on the field. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's kind of weird to be betting on the don't when it's you as the shooter, but you know, the reality is I did not do that last night. That's another mistake I think I made, is I should have put $21 winner on that 6. Had I bet, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to collect and press. Had I done that, I probably wouldn't have lost as much because I was shooting terribly. It was awful. I mean, I was hurting my own feelings. Terrible roll. 9. Got lucky. It was a lucky roll. Another $21 winner. Go ahead and mark that 9. So, yeah, I got to recognize. I think another thing I learned last night is, man, that casino was freaking cold. Oh, terrible roll. That casino was freaking cold. I had shorts on. It's another $21 winner. I had shorts on last night and a button-up shirt, and man, I was cold, so I wasn't even comfortable with the dice. One thing that I've also learned when I'm shooting dice is my fingers tend to get a little sticky. So the dice gets a little sticky. I'm not sure which one it is, but I have to wipe my fingers off on my pants. So, yeah. That one rolled around on me. So 8 is another $21 winner. So right now I've hit every number that I have. So what I'm going to do now is I'm probably going to go ahead and press next time, because I've made all my money and I still have what's left on the board. So you know, when you're playing at home like this and you're playing for fun, it's the reality is it's not the same. But I will tell you, last night was the first night I played the Don't, and you know, with some substantial money, and it worked out okay. But I did something wrong, and I got to figure that out. I know I went tilt one time, but yeah, there was something else that I did wrong, and I'm not sure what it was yet, but I'll figure it out. That was better. 10. Okay. So I didn't get that 10, and that's okay. I'm not hitting the, you know, obviously I don't have any field numbers. Again, this is the way I'm holding dice, just like that. Let's see what we got here. That was a better roll. That was not a good roll. 9. All right, so I am going to press this $21. So I'm going to go ahead and get that one, that one. Let's just press them both up. All right, I'll rack the dollar. But yeah, it was and my wife didn't do great on slots either, so it's just, it's the way it goes though, you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes. Hard 10. Oof. Hard 10. I forgot to mark that 9. And there's another 10. So it's a pretty good roll. This is kind of what you would expect, you know, if you're holding the dice right and the dice are doing right. It's about what I would hope for. Right now, I would probably start pulling my bets. 5. So I'm going to probably do that. So we just got another 5. So I got 25. So 5 times 7. It's a $35 winner. And I'm just going to tell him to pull my bet. I'm going to pull that down. So we still got a 6, 7, 9 on the table, and we're doing pretty good. I wasn't shooting like this last night. 8, so that's good. That's going to be another $21 winner. I hadn't pressed those, so I'm also again going to pull this. Remember, I started out with a $600 bankroll. Go ahead and mark that. I want to show you guys what, this is something that I didn't know was going to play out this way. Craps, you just never, that's the other thing, you just don't know how craps is going to play out. You know, if you're shooting terrible, then you need to be able to read that table. And I haven't learned how to do that. I'm just saying that I can see where that skill set would be very valuable. Table read. Eight, hard 8. So, you know, one thing I did not do that I should have done, I'm going to go ahead and do it now because, so I've got $90 out there. So I might do something like let's see, there's a $11 hard 4 just to cover. Remember, the point is 4. So, yeah, just to cover that. I don't know if I marked that 8. We'll go ahead and mark it. So that throw was not good. Not a good throw. So I'm gonna try to make a little better throw here. Nope. But another hard 8. So what's happening is my dice are flaring out. And it's because I'm not touching the dice in the center, or my fingers are sticking. I haven't figured out what it is. This is, I'm not following through. I'm not sure. So here we go. Eight, man, another 8. I am nailing those 8s. I swear, I don't think I've ever, well, yeah, I did. I've hit this many 8s before, but man, that's a lot. And you know, the thing is, I'm actually hitting these with a terrible, terrible throw. So there's some forgiveness. Now see, that looked like a better throw. There's a yo 11. I really like that throw. I really did. Didn't win us any money, but the way that roll was exactly the way I wanted to roll. Better. 8. Now that's a good 8. They tilted off axis a little bit. That was an 8, not a 7. They tilted off axis a little bit, but they held together. And if I can get them to hold together, that means that I have a chance. Ah, they flipped around. A hard 4. So this happens. So look at that. Hard 4. So what that means is I lose all of this, right? Which is $75, $90. So I lost $90, but I had $11 on the hard 4. So I'm going to end up winning 88. Wait, sorry. Shoot, I did the math wrong. I'm actually going to be winning 77. Dang it. I messed that up. So there's that. There's that. And we'll put 15 up. But I'll pull this down. So bad, but it could have been a lot worse. Remember, we're still going to go ahead and play for that 7. That was a 4, so we'll mark the 4 again. Come off and up, and let's see what happens. Continue rolling. So yeah, it was, I think I was telling you that it was really cold in the casino. And one thing, 8, another 8. And if I was hitting 8s like this, and I knew it, holy moly. So one thing I learned is, man, I gotta dress warmer, because I was literally shaking. That's how cold it was. So another 8, y'all. And I didn't put any odds on that, and I'm glad, because it's an 8. I don't like putting odds on an 8. It's just not, I don't think it's a good bet. It gets hit a lot. So anyway, so now I'm probably gonna go ahead and say, you know what, my shooting is going well. I'm gonna go ahead and bet on the pass line. It's a $15 minimum bet table. So let's see what happens. They flew around that time. 5. 5 is the point. Remember, now we're gonna hit and pull. I am gonna put some odds on there. I think on a 5 you're supposed to have even odds, so there's 10. Alright, so there's 30. Alright, let's see. And I don't have any chips down there. You know, that's another thing you gotta think about at a casino, is you gotta play dodge them with the chips on your landing zone. Six easy. It's good for us. That's what, let's see, we got a $21, $21 winner. Remember, we're gonna hit and pull. The whole point is to leave with money. Nothing else. There is nothing else on your, it should be on your plan except leaving with money. So you got to know when to go. 7 out. Okay. So obviously That bet right there was not a good bet. Should have stayed on the don't. But overall, that was a pretty good roll. At this point, I would be seriously contemplating going. So let's see what we got. Let's see, because that was just one time of holding the dice. But you know, when you get a good roll like that, you should really consider leaving. But let me see. I'm saying that, and at the same time, I'm looking at my bankroll and I'm going, "Man, you didn't win any money. How did you not win any money?" So, yeah. See, this is what happens. So I had a $600 bankroll, which I got $600, and then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 50 bucks. So there's 50 bucks there, and then there is, looks like one shy of 20. So I'm up like 69 bucks. But look at all these hits, man. How many? That's 8 eights. That's what you call crazy eights. So yeah, I rolled 1, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7. And we said that's 8. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 rolls. 19 rolls. And I lost. And I think part of it is because I was playing on the don't against myself. The other part, I'm not really sure. But I covered it with the hard 4, so I didn't win, but I lost. I think I pulled my 8s too early. Looks like there was some field numbers, so I didn't bet the field. So the way that went is there was 7 field numbers. There's 10, 12 place bets, so no field losers. But anyway, that's kind of how that roll went. I would probably continue to play because I'm only up $69, but I'd probably play a little different. Maybe I'd probably do the don't the same way, probably at 30 or a $50 don't, and then cover the 5, 6, and 8 at 15. You know, on the 5. Of course, 18 on each 6 and 8. Put me at $36. Put another 15 on that. So put 36. Let's see. Yeah, 36 and 15, so $51. I'd put that out there. But yeah, anyway, yeah, this is the day after a pretty good loss, but that's a pretty good roll. It wasn't because of my dice shooting. I've got to practice on that. But this is Chris, half of the Craps Couple. But you just got to know when to go, and I know I didn't really show you, but at this time, but I would not leave yet. I would have to get, I think if I get a $300 on a $600, if I'm 300 or better, I'm leaving. And I might even drop that down to 200 after last night, but more to come as I think through this. Y'all have a good night.